Hello students, myself is Mrs. Neeta Shashikant Deshmukh. Already we started rotational dynamics. In that rotational dynamics, we already started MCQ. In that MCQ, we are going to see the next MCQ. That MCQs are related to the rotational motion. So in that next one is there a particle of mass 2 kg located at the position I bar plus j bar has a velocity 2 into in bracket plus I bar minus j bar plus k bar meter per second. Its angular momentum about z axis in kg meter square per second is plus 4, second option plus 8, minus 4, minus 8. So these are the given information with us. Here we have to find out that angular momentum. We know angular momentum how we are getting r into p. Again that p is nothing but m into v. In that m is a scalar quantity and r and v they both are the vector quantity. Okay, so here we have to find the product of r and v but in the form of determinant. Okay, if we are finding the coordinates of that r, here we know I cap, j cap, otherwise we can say I bar, j bar, k bar. These are the unit vectors along x axis, y axis, z axis. Already in 11th standard we learned about the vector product also and the scalar product also. So here the given values of that I is along x axis, y axis and z axis. It is 1, 1 here. For that k, no any coordinate. So along z axis it is 0. For the velocity is equal to here 2 into in bracket plus I bar minus j bar minus k bar. So here we can, from that we can write the value of velocity. It is 2 minus 2 and here 2. So these values along x axis, y axis and z axis. These are values of the velocity. Here the value of m is given us. M is 2 kg. Now here the coordinate of that position vector r along x axis is 1, y axis 1 and along k axis it is 0. No any coordinate is given. So here we have to find out the angular momentum. Angular momentum is nothing but the product of r and p. They both are the vector quantity. So already we learned in 11th standard the cross product of p and q we can write in the form of determinant. That we first of all revise and then we are finding the value of that L using this formula. So here we know here p is one of the vector and q is the one of the vector. We learn the rules for the vector product. So in that here I bar, j bar and k bar. So p is representative along x axis px, py, pz. Here q, qx, qy and qz. When we want to find out the product of that two vector in the form of the determinant, we know the basic rule is there. See here I bar in bracket the multiplication of that 2 minus the multiplication of that 2. So here py into qz minus pz into qy. So this is first bracket. When we are solving for j bar, j. Sequence we know I, j, k. We have to follow the order, otherwise the sequence. When we are finding the for I, then we are taking j. So j is here, j. Then here we are taking the coordinate of x. K here pz into qx minus pz into qx minus px into qz. Okay. Plus last for k bar. K bar is here, so we are giving the first reference to I bar. So here px into qy minus py into qx, and then we are getting the answer by using this rule. This is a rule to find the vector cross product of a two vector in the form of determinant. As per in given example, we have the two values position vector r and next one is a linear momentum. In that linear momentum m is a scalar quantity, v and r they both are the vector quantity. So here we have to find out. Now here we are using the formula just we saw L is equal to RMV. So here M will remain as it is. Here we will get R cross product V. So R is our P vector and V is our Q vector. So here we know the value of M. M is nothing but 2 kg. So here 2, that 2 is multiplying to hold that answer. By using the determinant formula, we are finding the answer, and that answer is again multiplied by 2 as per our formula. So here we will get I, J, K. Then putting the values of that position vector are having the two values here, I bar, J bar, K bar. R value 1, 1, 0. Then the values of velocity vector 2, -2 and 2. Now here same formula we have to use that formula. So here we can write here L is equal to, as equal we are saying as it is, we have to write in a square bracket. First is there I remain as it is, I bar, the product of that 2, 1 into 2 first bracket, minus here 0 into -2. This is the first bracket. This whole is multiplied by bar I bar. Here plus J bar. For J bar we have to take that 0 into -2 minus 1 into 2. So the square bracket is complete for the value of J bar, plus here left on is there K bar. Here we are getting 1 into -2 minus here 2 into 1. So this is for the value for K. If we are going to see here, when any number is multiplied by 0, that term will become 0. So here we will get 2 in bracket 2 I bar. Here this term will become 0. Minus sign is there, minus 2 J bar. Again here K, but here we can see that is -2, -2. It will become -2. So into -4 K bar. So these values we are getting by using the determinant rule for the cross product of a two vectors. Otherwise, vector product in the form of determinant. So we are getting this value, and here we can write here by multiplying the two whole terms in that bracket. So here it will be 4 I cap minus 4 J cap minus 8 K cap. You can say cap, otherwise bar. So here we have to find out its angular momentum about z axis in kg meter square per second. It is nothing but this value we want to find here, and this value is there. The coordinate along z axis is -8. So in that given MCQ, by using the rule for the product of two vectors in the form of determinant, we got the answer -8. Okay, let me move toward the next MCQ. See, the next one is there. In a bicycle, the radius of rear wheel is twice the radius of a front wheel if RF and RR are the radius VF and VR, the speeds of the topmost points of a wheel. Then what is the relation in between the speed of a rear wheel and the front wheel? Here VR is equal to twice VF. Second one, VF is equal to twice VR. Third one, VF is equal to VR. And last one, VF is greater than VR. Here we know rear wheel means a backside wheel. In bicycle, two wheels are present there. Okay, they are interconnected to each other. We know that in that it is a front wheel and it is a rear wheel. So as per the given condition, here RR is the radius of that rear wheel. Okay, and RF is the radius of the front wheel. So here radius of backside wheel Here it is a radius of front wheel. So in between that we are getting the relation is there, so that the rear wheel is the radius of that rear wheel is twice than the radius of front wheel. See here, the radius of a rear backside wheel, its radius is double than the radius of the front wheel. We know, then here we have to find out the relation in between Vf and Vr. Vf is the velocity, speed of the topmost point of a wheel. That means here Vf means the velocity, speed of the topmost point. That point speed we have to find out. What is the relation in between that? Here is a front wheel, it is a backside wheel, otherwise a rear wheel. In that, here it is the speed of a topmost point, the point which is present at the top of wheel, and Vr means the speed of the topmost point of the rear wheel. So basic information, let me see here, rolling motion. Now here, see there, we know the bicycle, the wheel in that bicycle, when the bicycle is traveling, that time wheel is going to perform the rolling motion. First of all, the wheel is going from one place to another place. In this situation, the wheel is performing translation motion, and here the axis is present there. Around that axis, the wheel is going to rotate. That means it is going to perform also rotational motion. We know in the rolling motion is a combination of the translatory motion and the rotatory motion. So here we know rolling motion, how we are getting translatory motion plus rotatory motion. That we know, that is a rolling motion is a combination. The body which is going to roll, that body is perform two motion. One is their translatory motion and other is their rotatory motion. If we consider it is a translatory motion. Translatory motion. What happens in translatory motion? The body is going to translate from one place to another place. Here the topmost point, it having the velocity v in forward direction. The point it having also velocity in forward direction. The point which is present at the bottom of the wheel, it also having the forward direction. The point which is present at the center, it also having the velocity, it is also in forward direction. So here is velocity, here is velocity, here. We have to find out the topmost velocity. So here we have to find out the topmost velocity of two wheels. What is the relation in between that? Here, in translatory motion, in rotatory motion, what happened? The topmost position, it having the velocity in that direction v, but at this point, it having the velocity direction it changes, and in this point, its direction also backward direction. So here is the center of mass is present. Okay, here in this is translatory motion, it is rotatory motion. When the bicycle is moving, that time the wheel is going to perform rolling motion. That means the wheel is performing both the motion, which it is rotatory also and translatory also. And if we are drawing the rolling motion of a wheel which is performing a rolling motion, here at that point we are getting the velocity. That velocity is 2v. Here is also velocity, here is also velocity. We have to find out the topmost velocity, just they are saying to us. So here also we are getting the center of mass. In that only velocity of rotatory velocity is only present. So in this case we can understand the topmost position in case of a both wheel. So we are getting the velocity. That velocity is 2v. The velocity, the speed at the topmost point of the front wheel and the speed of the rear wheel at topmost point of rear wheel, they having the both value is twice v. So we can say Vf is equal to VR, both having the similar. Here the velocity at topmost point is twice than the velocity of a center of a mass, but in this case their angular velocity is different. So in the case of both the wheel, here the VF and VR, these are the similar. These are the speeds of a topmost point of a front wheel, and the rear wheel means backside wheel. So the value is twice v, and the two values, that means the speed at the topmost point of front wheel and the speed at the topmost point of a rear wheel, otherwise backside wheel, it is a similar. They having only angular velocity different. So here we can say VF is equal to VR. So as per our option, here C number option is our correct. So here we are writing that VF is equal to VR. Let me move towards the next. See there, a particle moves along a circle of a radius 20 divided by pi meter with a constant tangential acceleration if the velocity of a particle is 80 meter per second at the end of the second revolution. After motion has begun, the tangential acceleration is 640 meter per second square, 160 pi meter per second square, 40 pi meter per second square, and last one is the 40 meter per second square. Let me write the given information, whatever given in that, then we will see. Given R is given to us, R is 20 divided by pi meter. Here with the constant tangential acceleration, velocity of particle is V is equal to 80 meter per second. Okay, next is there the number of revolution at the end of a second revolution, capital N is equal to 2. It is a number of revolution. And next one is there, after motion has begun, the tangential acceleration, we have to find out AT. Here let me see the some theoretical part. We know tangential acceleration, that means it is from a non-uniform circular motion. Here see there, if UCM is there, UCM means what? Uniform circular motion. In UCM, omega remains constant. Velocity in this case remains constant. So when a particle revolves along the circumference of a circle with a constant velocity, this is the uniform circular motion. In that uniform circular motion, the acceleration is present there. The acceleration is always directed toward the center of a circle along the radius vector. So in this case, we are getting the centripetal acceleration. It is directed toward the center. That acceleration is produced due to centripetal force. It is toward the center along the radius vector. So its name is centripetal acceleration, otherwise a radial acceleration. Only one acceleration is present in UCM, uniform circular motion. If we are talking about the non-UCM, what happens in non-UCM? The motion of a particle along the circumference of a circle, the motion of a particle along the circumference of a circle of fixed radius with variable speed. In this case, the velocity is not constant. So it is an example of UCM and it is the example of non-UCM. So in this case, velocity is not constant. In non-UCM, we are getting the acceleration. Here, the acceleration having the two components. That one component is toward the center, it is AC. Another component is tangential to the position of a particle, it is AT. So here we are getting a net acceleration. In non-UCM, velocity is not constant, but the acceleration having the two component, acceleration toward the center along the radius vector is called as a centripetal acceleration. Here AC is a centripetal acceleration. The acceleration which is tangential to the position of a particle, that particle is performing non-UCM, is called as the tangential acceleration. So that two accelerations are with us. We know their formula. AC is equal to omega into V. Omega is the angular speed, V is the linear speed, and AT is equal to alpha into R. R is radius vector, alpha is our angular acceleration, and we want to find the net acceleration. In this case, AN is equal to AC square plus AT square. So this is the basic theory of that tangential acceleration. So in this case, we have to find out the AT. So our formula is that AT is equal to alpha into R. First of all, we have to find out the alpha, because here the initial angular velocity is 0. This is 0 in this case. So by giving the value of R and V, we can find the value of that angular velocity, omega. So omega is equal to V is equal to R into omega. Therefore omega is equal to V divided by R. So here we will get the value of that omega. Omega 0 is omega 0, that means angular frequency is 0 here. Again we have to find out the value of alpha. So we know the kinematical equation, omega square is equal to omega 0 square plus here 2 alpha into theta. Alpha is the angular acceleration, theta is our angular displacement, it is a final angular velocity, it is the initial angular velocity. So these formulae we have to use. This is the basic theory of a tangential acceleration. Tangential acceleration is one of the component of acceleration in a non-Lewisian. In non-Lewisian, acceleration having the two components. First is the centripetal acceleration toward the center. Second one is the tangential acceleration. It is tangential to the position of a particle. How we can find the value of a net acceleration in such way? And these are the formulae for the centripetal acceleration and tangential acceleration in non-Lewisian. Let me move. We are putting all the values. We can find out. First we have to find out omega using the relation linear velocity is equal to R into angular velocity. So V is equal to R into omega. Therefore omega is equal to V divided by R. What is the value of V? V is nothing but 80 divided by 20 divided by pi. So this is going to cancel. Here we will get 4 pi. This is the value of omega. It is a final angular velocity. Initial angular velocity is 0 here. Okay. Now we are using the kinematical equation here. Omega square is equal to omega 0 square plus twice alpha theta. From that we know this is 0. Omega 0 is 0. Therefore omega square is equal to twice alpha into theta. Here we have to find out the value of that alpha. Then alpha is equal to omega square divided by 2 theta. So here alpha is equal to value is with us omega, we are getting 4 pi square, the bracket having the square, divided by 2 into theta. Theta here we have to find out. Theta is equal to 2 pi into capital N. N is the number of revolutions. Here given is there at the end of a second revolution. So it will be 2 pi into 2. So here theta is equal to 4 pi. So putting this value 2 theta, 2 into 4 pi. Finally here we will get 16 pi square divided by 8 pi. By simplifying that it is 2 pi. This is the value of alpha. Now here we have to find out the tangential acceleration. And we know the formula AT is equal to alpha into R. So value of alpha just now we found 2 pi into the value of R is there 20 divided by pi. Simple mathematical calculation, and that tangential acceleration is equal to 40 meter per second. See, in such way we got the answer of that MCQ, and it is our last option. It is 40 meter per second square. It is acceleration. If acceleration is there, that means 40 meter per second square. Let me move towards our next MCQ. along the ground with a speed of 2 meter per second, the magnitude of velocity of a point at the extremities of the horizontal diameter of a wheel is equal to, first option is there, 2 into root 10 meter second raised to minus 1, second one 2 into root 3 meter second raised to minus 1, third one 2 into root 2 meter second raised to minus 1, and last one 2 meter second raised to minus 1. Just now we saw the pure rolling motion, just we saw in that bicycle wheel is there, okay, along the ground with speed is given to us, speed is nothing but 2 meter second raised to minus 1. The magnitude of velocity of the point at the extremities of the horizontal diameter, see there, the wheel of bicycle is in the shape of the circle. As per that shape, here we can understand it is a horizontal diameter, so this we have to find out the magnitude of the velocity at that point, okay. Horizontal diameter of a wheel is equal to, now see here, we know pure rolling, just we discuss about the pure rolling motion is nothing but it is the combination of a translatory motion and the rotatory motion. We are not going that much deeply. Suppose it is a rolling motion, so what we will get in rolling motion, that we will discuss here. Rolling motion, when any body is going to roll, on that two motions are present there, translatory motion and rotatory. In rolling motion here, the value is twice v. Why? Because we know in that rotatory motion and in translatory motion. In rotatory motion, rotatory, and in translatory motion, here is velocity v, here is also velocity v. In that rotatory motion, the center of mass in translatory motion, here we are not getting that value. When we come toward that point, this we have to find out. Here center of mass is present here. That in rotatory motion, the velocity's direction is going to change. It is in downward direction, but in translatory motion, the direction is same in forward direction. That means in that place, here we are getting the velocity in such a way. This is a Vt, velocity due to translatory motion. Here it will be Vr, it is a velocity due to rotatory motion. We know in rotational motion, every time the direction of velocity is going to change. So here we have to find out the velocity. But we have given the value of velocity v. Velocity due to translatory motion is v. Its direction is such way. Velocity due to rotatory motion, its value is v. Here we have to find out the net velocity. We know the resolution of vector. We learn that if you remember in 11th standard, vector is there, r is there, here is rx and here is ry. If we are finding that value, we will get the magnitude of r is equal to in root rx square plus ry square. Such way we know the formula. So here we have to find out the net velocity. So here the values are with us. This point, what is the magnitude of a velocity at that point? So here Vn is equal to in square root here Vt square plus Vr square. Here the values are with us. Here is V square plus V square. So finally we will get Vn is equal to here in square root twice V square. The value of V is 2. So in square root 2 into in bracket the square of 2. So here we will get 2 into root 2 meter per second. So this is the value of the velocity. So I think here our third number option is correct here. So see there, the magnitude of a velocity of a point at the extremities of the horizontal diameter. The point is present here. That points. At that point, what is the value of a magnitude of velocity? This is given by the Vn. Here we got the resolution of a vector by using that formula. In 11th standard already we learned that we are getting the answer 2 into root 2 meter per second. In such way, we completed some MCQ. In next lecture, we are going to see the next. We are going to learn the next MCQ. I hope you understood this. Thank you.